Good morning. It's good to see you today. Hope you're doing well. Come on with us to John chapter 20. Let's make a few points about doubting Thomas. One of the first points is John chapter 20. At verse 19 it says, "Then the same day at evening, being the first day of the week, when the doors were shut where the disciples were assembled." So this was the day the Lord was resurrected, first day of the week. It's what it says. The disciples were assembled together. Jesus came and stood in the midst and said to them, "Peace be with you." When he had said this, he showed them his hands and his side. Then the disciples were glad when they saw the Lord. Let's make this point first. We need to be there when the disciples assemble together. Why was Thomas not there? Any question he might have had would have been answered right then. But he wasn't there with the other disciples. Why was he not there? I don't know. There's not a good reason for it. All I know is he wasn't there, and he missed something. What did he miss? He missed the body of Christ. We need to assemble with the saints. When the saints assemble together, we need to be there. It doesn't matter when it is. We need to be there with them. Well, what do we miss when we're not there with them? Is the body just me individually? No, the body is us collectively. So what do I miss if I'm not with the rest of the body? I miss the body of Christ. That's what Thomas missed too. We need to be there when the saints assemble. Let's read on, verse 24. Thomas was not with them. Verse 25. The other disciples therefore said to him, "We have seen the Lord." So he said to them, "Unless I see in his hands the print of the nails, and put my finger into the print of the nails, and put my hands into his side, I will not believe." Why did he not believe the witnesses? And he's not alone in this. Jesus rebukes all of them in Mark chapter 16 and verse 14 because they did not believe the women's testimony, because Jesus appeared to them, it looks like, first. But here, just dealing with Thomas, why did he not believe the witnesses? He had been working with these men for a few years now. He knew these men. He knew they were trustworthy. He knew they were credible. Why did he not believe them? Did he think they were just making it up? And you just have to think about it, and you have to make the application, and this is the application. Will we believe the witnesses? 1 Corinthians talks about all of those witnesses of the resurrected Jesus. Will we believe what the witnesses saw? That's the question. Or will we be like doubting Thomas? And of course the answer is we can't be. But let's consider something else. We've seen what Thomas said. The Lord appears after 8 days. The disciples are again assembled. This time Thomas was with them. Jesus says, "Peace to you," and he says to Thomas, verse 27, "Reach your finger here and look at my hands, and reach your hand here and put it into my side. Do not be unbelieving, but believing." Let's make this point. We need to be real careful about what we say in private, because judging by what Jesus said, he heard what Thomas had said. I want you to consider another account. In John chapter 1 at verse 48, the Lord is introduced to Nathanael. But the Lord makes a point that he saw Nathanael under the fig tree. And Jesus heard what Nathanael had said. It's the account where he says that there is no guile in him. And Nathanael is impressed, and it should impress us. The Lord heard what Thomas said, and the Lord repeated it back to him. And you think about it. We need to be careful about what we say in private, because the Lord is listening. What Thomas is very useful, because what he is he is a doubter, and his doubts are satisfied. But at the same time, he is certainly, absolutely not our example, because Thomas would not walk in faith, and we do have to walk in faith, and these things are written that we may walk in faith. Hope you enjoyed this study today. God bless you. Be a blessing to others. We'll see you tomorrow morning, I hope.